Hey class, it is the last lesson of our testing weeks. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So we'll get to go back to normal soon. Can't wait. This is lesson 3. This is our I can statement for today. I can order events in a story. When you are putting something in order, you're putting in something from first to last. We had been a couple weeks ago ordering events, thinking about the beginning, the middle, and end of a story, making sure that's in order, right? You don't start start a story at the end, then go to the beginning, then go to the middle. No, there's an order of things. So today we're going to be ordering events in a story. You actually should have started practicing ordering events by finishing your do now, which you should already have done. I told you to pretend like you had a little brother and he didn't know how to make a sandwich. So you had to tell him how to make a sandwich. You can't tell him to start by putting the mustard on something or putting mustard on the bread. He hasn't even gotten out the bread yet, right? First, he needs to get out the bread, then this, then that. There needs to be a specific order. If things don't happen in order, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. Today, we're going to be reading a story and when we're finished, we're going to be thinking about the order that things are happening, the order of events. We have talked about these words before. We called them temporal words that had to do with time. Today, we're going to call them sequencing words or ordering words. These are words you should hear and read a lot. First, second, next, after, meanwhile, then, afterwards, later, finally, and last are the most popular sequencing words. They help you tell the order of events. Pretend I'm telling you how to do a cartwheel. I would use these words to help tell the order of events. First, stand up straight. Second, put your hands up like this. Next, lean your body over and throw yourself over. Finally, land on your 2 feet, right? That's how you do a cartwheel. Well, what if I said, first, throw your body over? You'd be like, what? You wouldn't even know to stand, right? So you'd just be like, fall over. Funny, but it's not the correct order. So we're going to be looking for these words as we read today, and they're going to help us understand the order, the sequence of events. This is the story we're going to read. This isn't a story, more of an article, something you might find like this on the internet. So this story is called Play a Party Game. It's going to explain a game to us and, more importantly, tell us how to play the game by giving us the order of events. So we're going to look for some sequencing words as we are reading this together. And then when we're done reading it together, we're going to chart what's the sequencing word that we saw. What did it tell us to do? We're going to go through and order the events. Listen as I read. Play a party game. You and your friends can have fun playing the party game Camouflage. Something that is camouflaged is hard to see because it blends in with its background. In the game of Camouflage, players try to find things that are hidden in plain sight. Hidden in plain sight means that something is hidden, but it's not like behind something. It's right there. You just struggle to see it. We've talked about camouflage when we talked about animals before. Now, here it's going to go straight into the order of events of how to play this game. It says first, there's a square around first because that is a sequencing word. The word first shows us that's the first thing that happens. First, gather about 10 small objects to hide in a room. Examples include marbles, pencils, crayons, a piece of tape, and paper clips, to name a few. So they told us the first thing to do. This is our order of events, right? First, you need to get 10 small objects. Let's keep reading. Next, that's another sequencing word. Next, that tells us that's the next thing that's happening. Next, list the names of the objects on a sheet of paper. Make copies of the list to give to the players. Let's see what we do. After that, there's another sequencing word after. We know that this comes after the last step. This is the next thing that happens. After that, place each object in a spot where it is camouflaged. Use its color or shape to choose a good spot. Do not put it behind or under anything. Then, there's another sequencing word. Then is similar to next. because it's telling you the next thing that's happening. Then give a list of objects to each player and explain the rules. Say, roam around the room looking for objects on the list as you walk. Do not touch anything. If you find an object, come to me and whisper where you found it. I'll check off that name on your list. Finally, finally is a sequencing word too. Finally means it is the last thing that happens. You will never say, if you're explaining how to do a cartwheel, you would say, finally, stand up straight. No, because finally means last. So let's see what the last thing we're going to do for this game is. Finally, the first player to find all the objects is the winner. Woo! We know how to play the game camouflage now. So, that is our story, and this is what we're going to use as we think about sequencing words and the order of events with this story. If you need to hear the story again, you don't have to watch this video again, but you can go to our class Kick, and on slide 12, which is where you found this video, I'm reading it to you again. But then, when you're done listening again, go to slide 13. On slide 13 is a sequence and procedure chart. What you need to do is you need to go back to the text and order the events that happen. And in this case, we're ordering the events of the game Camouflage. So let's go back and find to our text and find what was the first thing we do. Well, this was just giving us information about the game. Oh, first, the word first. Okay, so I know that's the first thing. Gather about 10 small objects to hide in a room. Okay, so I'm ordering the events. I know that happens first. So I'm going to type or write that here. So my first step is to get 10 small objects and hide them. Perfect. I'm going to make that green. Green's my color. Get 10 small objects and hide them. Oh, I'm missing something. How do I know that that is the first thing to do? What is that signal word or that sequencing word that came before that tells me that that's the first thing to do? Let's look back at our text. Gather about 10. Oh, yeah, it said first. First. So I know that is the first step. That's number 1. First was my signal word. So that's what I'm going to put in my chart. My signal word was the word first. Because it said first, I know that that is the beginning step, the very first step. I want you to finish this page. I've started it for you. I want you to finish it. Go through what are the steps, the order of events, and then how do you know what was that signal or sequence word that you found that helps you to know how they are ordered. When you are done, you have an exit ticket for writing, a writing exit ticket. Would you and your friends enjoy playing the game from the story? So the game Camouflage. Would you and your friends like it? Why or why not? You're going to write your answer below. Thanks for working so hard. I will see you next week.